Good morning, my friends, on this wonderful Wednesday morning. I have a short week. Monday was the day off. It was the bank holiday Monday, and I love these weeks, the 4 working day weeks, because if the Monday is off, then you go to work on Tuesday, and it feels as if it's Monday, but it's Tuesday already. And then come Wednesday, it feels like Tuesday, but it's already Wednesday. So tomorrow is Thursday, and then followed by Friday, and then another weekend. Yay, happy days! Anyway, I'm still learning my American phrases, and today I'm on the phrase number 14. And today's phrase is your typical idiomatic expression. It's almost an idiom, because the meaning of this phrase mightn't be 100% clear right from the beginning when you first encounter the phrase. And the phrase in question is, it stands to reason. And it simply means that something is common sense. So basically you can replace this one with, it's only common sense that something happens, and then you explain that particular thing you have in mind, And here's a typical example. It stands to reason that if you hurt yourself, that it hurts. It's obvious. And it stands to reason that if it happens, then the consequence is pain. And this was a very simple example, too simplistic, you might say, but it's just to illustrate what this phrase represents. And now I'm going to give you a more complicated, well, nothing really is complicated as far as you understand it, but a little bit more relevant to real life situations, right? It stood to reason that when I started practicing my spoken English with myself, that my fluency started improving rapidly. It only stood to reason because your spoken language improvement can only be precipitated by spoken English practice and being engaged in conversations with other people. Basically, in order to improve your fluency, you have to speak. It's only common sense. There is no rocket science involved, and it stands to reason that if you start practicing your spoken English, that your fluency will improve. It'll go up. It's a no-brainer. It stands to reason, And basically, this is yet another American phrase. And tell you what, I've been using these American phrases in my daily conversations with people at work. And these are great additions to my active vocabulary. And I hope you're doing the same thing. I know for a fact that many of you guys are following my progress. You are watching these videos. And you also watched the last video I made on my English Harmony blog, where I used all 12 phrases I had learned at that time, and I utilized them all in a self-practice session, and I showed you exactly how such practice sessions are conducted for the best results. And I'll keep making those videos regularly. After every 12 phrases, I'll make another video of such nature, and then come the end of this mission, I'll make another video where I'll use all these phrases. I'll have lists in front of me, and I'll use them all up to prove you guys that I've been speaking with myself even beyond these videos. That's what I do. I go to work, I commute to work by car, and then when I spend that half an hour in the car, I make sure to speak with myself and use some of these phrases. It's been great help to my fluency improvement. And obviously, if you didn't know where I get those phrases from, I get them from my fiction. I read. I'm a keen reader, and that's how the whole thing happens. You are exposed to English language in a passive way. It's the so-called passive immersion. I read, which is passive, but then I always follow it up with some spoken English practice. I discuss chapters that I finish with myself, like just for a minute or so, but make sure that I absorb some of that vocabulary and I add it onto my active vocabulary, because if you're only exposed to the English language with no active engagement, no active participation on your part, then your fluency, your active vocabulary, your ability to speak won't develop. It will develop to a certain degree, but it's nothing compared to the development you'll experience if you're truly engaged, And this is what I'm doing currently. I'm speaking with you, but essentially I'm speaking with myself. My mouth is moving. I'm exercising my spoken English, and it only stands to reason that I keep improving my own English the whole time. If you look back like 6 months or a year, my English wasn't as fluent and eloquent as it is now. And probably after a year or even a couple of years down the line, my English will have improved even by a greater degree. And it's only natural, it only stands to reason that it happens. That when you do something, then there are consequences. Or, quite the opposite, lack of activity leads to deterioration of whatever is the particular area of your performance we're looking at. If you don't do anything with your body will relapse to the previous state because of the inactivity. You know, your muscles will deteriorate, they will shrink, they'll become weaker, your bone structure isn't going to be as rigid as it should be. And if it's your language we're looking at, your ability to speak will deteriorate, you know. It won't even stall, because if you're not engaged in any activity, you will lose it. As the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. Simple as. Reasons, consequences, you know. And it only stands to reason that every human performance aspect follows this rule, because we're all live beings, we're all creatures, we're all part of the nature, and in the nature you have to survive, you have to stay fit, and you have to keep moving, keep going, keep working, keep active, you know, survival of the fittest. And same goes with your performance in terms of language, you know. If you want to be successful in jobs market, that's your work, if you want to have some promotional opportunities down the line, or if you want to have a good social life, you know, have a lot of friends among native English speakers, and you want to integrate into local society, it's only natural that you have to keep working with your language. You have to keep engaged in spoken English practice. That's what I do. I warmly suggest you do the same thing, my friends. And it only stands to reason that if you keep watching these videos and you keep doing what I'm doing, you mimic me, do as I do, it only stands to reason that the consequence is going to be beneficial to your fluency improvement. And this is how the idiomatic expression to stand to a reason is used. And throughout this video, if I'm not mistaken, I've repeated this phrase about 6 or 7 times, and it's been added on to my active vocabulary for the simple reason that I've been doing it even before this video, you know. I did it for the entire morning session. I got up, and ever since I've been speaking with myself about random things, you know, and I made sure to use that phrase so that it comes naturally to me. It stands to reason, stands to reason. And yep, that's about it, my friends. Thanks for watching this video, and see you in the evening on my accentranger.com blog, where I'll be speaking with the American accent. Currently I'm speaking with my normal accent, which is somewhat similar to the American one, but I'm not making a huge effort to sound like American, you know. But in the evening on my Accent Adventure blog, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And it only stands to reason that one's accent and pronunciation improves for as long as that person remains engaged in a lot of spoken practice with that target accent, you know. Everything boils down to spoken practice. Practice makes one perfect. Alright, my friends, thanks for watching, and see you soon again. Bye-bye.